All right, today's episode is all for my people who love mountain biking, getting out in nature, or if you're somebody who is like, man, I would love to do that, but I have no idea where to start, AKA me. We are gonna go hit some trails with my friend Mike, who is part of Redding Trail Alliance, which we're gonna learn more about today. But in short, Redding has over 100 miles of biking trails, and what's cool about our community is biking is a huge thing here. There's races, there's organizations. It's a huge part of how people get out and explore Redding. And if you're somebody who loves to be out in nature and you come here to Redding, or maybe you just arrived, like, biking is one way that you get to see Redding from a really cool, different perspective than the average person that obviously doesn't bike. So before meeting up with Mike, I'm gonna go hit up a local bike shop here that has amazing rentals and is just a huge part of our community as well. So I'll give you more details, but let's go check out Adventure Hub. All right, so we just arrived at Adventure Hub, which is a great local business here in Redding. So I'm gonna go pick up a rental because I don't want to show up next to Mike with my Walmart bike. So I'm gonna go look legit. Hi, how's it going? Good. Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm Faith.
I'm Alexis.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Are you manager or?
One of the owners.
Oh, nice.
Yes, there's three of us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cody's one, I'm one, and
Hi, Cody.
Dan Arbuckle is the third.
Oh,
so
great.
Cody and I used to work for Redding Trail Alliance for the last 3 years. So that's
nice.
like, we absolutely love that you guys are doing this.
Awesome.
We obviously have e-bike rentals. We
Perfect.
also do like high-end mountain bike rentals.
Okay.
We also do gravel bike rentals.
Perfect.
So that's like just to know that there's options.
And then are you a bike? It looks like you're a bike shop.
We're a bike shop, and we bought it as a bike shop, but we're moving it more into like also a tour guiding service. So we'll
perfect.
offer like guided bike rides, guided waterfall hikes, guided
Nice.
kayak, and stuff like that. So
See, like Redding a lot cooler.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So after meeting the team at Adventure Hub, Alexis gave me the rundown on my bike rental, and trust me, this was definitely an upgrade from my Walmart bike. All that was left to do was to pack up and head out.
Done.
We then hit the road and headed to the trailhead where we were going to meet up with Mike, and within 10 minutes we went from downtown Redding to this incredible scenery.
All right, we just arrived at Keswick Dam Trailhead. Mike's here, so we're gonna go say hi and let's go. Before we hit the trails, we are interviewing my friend Mike, who is actually board of director of Redding Trail Alliance. Now, before we get into all of the nit and gritty of what Redding Trail Alliance does for our community, I think, you know, you've been in the biking community for a really long time. I don't even know how long you've been doing it. So let's hear how you got into biking and maybe why this is so much of your passion.
Okay. Yeah, so I first started riding mountain bikes about 10 or 12 years ago. I tore an ACL and I wanted to be more active and try something new. So I actually started riding mountain bikes to train for triathlons.
Okay.
I started riding mountain bikes and I just fell in love with the trails we have, and actually never have done a triathlon since then. And
Ever do a triathlon?
no, never. I've never done one.
Never.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
So anyways, yeah, I just started riding bikes, loved it, and met some really cool people along the way, which kind of ties into how Redding Trail Alliance started. It was just a group of us really passionate mountain bikers who wanted more trails, more advanced trails for the area.
And would you say, like, obviously being really involved with the community, before Redding Trail Alliance, was there a lot of bike trails, or was it just not really developed?
Yeah, so Redding had some trails, some basic trails with maybe a couple advanced trails, but what Redding Trail Alliance wanted to do is we wanted to bring more progressive trails to the area.
Mm-hmm. And for somebody who is, you know, clueless, I'll just say it. What is a progressive trail?
What a progressive trail is something you can build your skills on. It's a trail that you can ride multiple times and slowly work up to that technical feature, whatever it is, be it a tree stump, a rock, a root, a jump, a drop. Okay. So something to slowly build your skills up to where you feel confident doing that feature.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm still on basic trail, so.
Okay. You don't want to go ride the NAR?
No, that sounds scary. I don't think I'll go to the NAR. So moving into, Reading Trail Alliance, I know you guys have been basically here since like 2015, 2016.
2015, 2016.
And it is a nonprofit organization.
Correct.
What would you say is like the projects that you guys are proud of that you completed, maybe that you're headed towards, that somebody coming to our area could go, okay, Reading's on a map for biking?
So a lot of us wanted more progressive trails, and we would go to other cities to ride these trails, even different countries.
Okay.
And so what we wanted to do is bring that to our local area, so we could have those trails also to ride those trails. And so with the help of our local government, like City of Reading, BLM, even our National Recreation Area, Whiskeytown Park out there, we've really just tried to work with those guys and bring more trails to the area. We have really great community involvement with like our average trail user.
Okay.
So
kind of just help and support your projects. Like I know that like some things like Codwell Park, Skate Park, like did you guys?
Yeah, so we, the City of Reading, they let us basically come in and put a junior bike park over there at Codwell Junior Bike Park.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads us into Reading Bike Park, something we've been working on since I think we had the idea in 2018.
Yeah.
Conceptualized the plan in 2019. So we've been working on Reading Bike Park since then. And we're really excited that this year we're going to get some pavement out on the trail there now. So it's going to be really awesome. There's going to be a jump line. There's going to be a paved pump track. There'll be shade features.
Yeah.
Just something for everyone to, again, progress their skills. Family oriented. So.
And if I was somebody, let's just say advanced, and I came to the area, how you've always talked and been so proud about the community of bikers, like it's basically like a community hub of people wanting to support, like you said, volunteer to help with the trail growth. What could I expect, or where would I get connected for like that type of community?
A lot of the local bike shops have knowledgeable guys there that can kind of give you some pointers on where to go. You can get on our readingtrailliance.org newsletter to get some updates. We also have our Instagram page.
Speaking of trails, if I was a beginner, what's my top 3 trails that I should try?
So
fall off my bike.
and learn how your brakes work.
Yeah, I learned how my brakes work.
The river trail is actually a really cool way to start to kind of get used to
trail
being out and around.
Yeah.
One thing that's really cool with Reading is we have really great connectivity. So if you want to go from one trail to the next, you can do that and really cross very minimal streets, one or two with that. But that being said, the beginner trails, the ones you asked about, I would say the river trail, the paved river trail. And that actually leads us back to the FB trail back there, which is mostly flat, kind of undulating, not super curvy trail that you can be down by the water and have some really good sights and scenery.
Yeah.
And then we also have some trails out at Swayze.
Okay.
That there's a lot of different options out there. So beginner, intermediate, and advanced out there.
And then if you are very experienced, we talked about it a little bit before jumping on.
Yeah.
What's the hardest trail?
So the hardest trail, I haven't ridden yet. The hardest trail we have right now is Oh No, and that's a double black diamond.
No, I'm just kidding.
I go Oh No.
I know.
I go Oh No. Oh No, definitely ride it with a friend for the first time. If you're gonna go ride it, check out some of the features before you decide to give it a ride. But it's definitely pretty gnarly.
I guess so hard, is it just like the turns, the elevation?
Yeah, so some of the elevation drop, some of the turns, and then just really steep and rocky terrain.
Okay. So I'll skip that and stick to the river trail.
Okay, perfect.
So bringing it back a little bit to your involvement with Reading Trail Alliance, you obviously have sat on the board of directors since 2015, 2016, since you guys started. I assume that the vision is to kind of become the next bike hub.
That's what we hope.
If people get involved and, come support you guys, like whether it's with volunteers or sponsorships to grow those trails, because we have over like 100 miles of trails here in Reading, which is crazy. What else ways could somebody get involved to, be behind this, especially if they're really involved in the biking community?
So one thing we rely heavily on is volunteerism. So we love to have volunteers come out and help with our volunteer days where we trim back brush. We also have an Adopt the Trails program we just recently started where you can sign up for a trail and just maintain that trail. I think we meet 3 or 4 times a year with them to try to just educate you on how to maintain a trail.
Okay.
Also too, if you're looking for donations, obviously that's great. Register for our races, come up and, race Little Marion.
Yes, if you are not familiar, I mean, I did some digging because I wanted to make it sound like I knew my stuff talking to you. But I know that the biking community in Reading started around like the 1980s, and it was all centered around the Lemurian race.
Yes.
And since that time, it's still carried out as a very well-known race. So you guys still have the Lemurian race. You guys just had it, right?
Yeah, had the Lemurian race in April.
And what if I wouldn't race it? So if I didn't know about it, what would it entail? Is it 3 races? What does it kind of look like?
So the Lemurian race, we have 2 different parts of the Lemurian race. We have the cross country, usually on Saturdays, and the downhill on Sunday. Downhill is a chainless downhill, which is super fun.
Okay.
You ride to the top, we take your chain off, and then you go down the mountain as fast as you can with no chain. But the cross country race is probably our bigger race, and we've had pros come from all over.
Wow.
We have a lot of people come from the Bay Area and also from the north.
That's awesome.
There's 3 different classes of our Lemurian race. There's beginner, intermediate, and expert, and those mileages and elevation gain depends on what class you race.
That's really cool. Last question is, I know that there's a lot of bike community shops, things to kind of get yourself connected. If I was completely lost, has there been really any like tour guides yet for like somebody who is like coming here? I know Adventure Hub, meeting with them, they said that they're planning on possibly starting to launch that. Is there anything in the bike community where people are like, hey, come ride and I'll explore and show you the world kind of thing?
I have heard also too about Adventure Hub trying to do some guided tour mountain bike rides. A lot of it is just kind of, I guess if you know somebody that, hey, come ride our trails. They're super cool.
Yeah.
But if you
Facebook group?
We have, so we have, there's Facebook groups and for just a general riding area where you can get hooked up. I think there's like a beginner ride on Wednesdays.
But it's just, for me, like coming to an area like this and wanting to explore it, like it just would be kind of not overwhelming. It's on the website, like Visit Reading, your guys' website, like all the kind of different apps we talked about. There is a way to really see the trails for what they offer. And I think it's just a cool way to see Reading. And like you said, what I love, I mean, we're here on the river trail. I mean, there's literally Salt Creek subdivision, all these different subdivisions here. And you literally, Mary Lake, you can literally go from that subdivision, hop on a trail,
West Side Trails,
and literally connect down here. And you would say, I've never actually really asked this to a bike nerd. So you're pretty much all the bike trails reside on the west side, right?
A lot of them do, but I mean, FB will take off and go up to kind of the, east side of the river.
Yeah. But a
lot of the west side, you're correct. Yeah, mostly west side.
Okay. Well, I think this has been super great. So what I say is, let's cut the talking and start riding.
Let's go.
Let's go. This wraps up our week of Rooted in Reading. Thanks, Mike, for joining us.
Heck
It was a great ride. We learned a lot about Reading Trail Alliance. And if you want to get involved, if you're moving here, a newcomer, there is lots of places to explore.
Lots of trails.
In Reading. I'm out of breath. This is a good workout. Anyway, we'll catch you next week on Rooted in Reading, and where we only, help you thrive in this community.
Sweet.
See you next week.
See ya.